Hello everybody, this is Extracraft. Today I'm gonna be recording a video on why Jed was right about Fortnite. I feel like this is a good topic. I'm like recording right after my birthday, pretty much. Got a new webcam. It was really cool, and I got a new monitor. It's 144 hertz. It's really nice, and it's like a gaming monitor. And then I'm using my old monitor as my secondary monitor to tell me to record. I'm using like a new recording software and everything. So I'd like to go over why Jed was right, but he was also wrong in a couple areas. Now, I say this because he had very good points in this video, and some of it was just not reasonable for some, in my opinion. So, as you can see here, well, you probably can't see with my face cam, but, let me move that over here. It says Bloom, my shooting model, building material gathering, all this. So, the things he was right about. He was right about Bloom. I'm going to leave a link of this video in the description so you guys can check it out yourself. He was right about Bloom. Fortnite should not be a luck-based game on who hits their shots because of the shooting model and who doesn't. Like, that's ridiculous. So, his shooting model, I get. It's like standard classic shooting model. Material gathering. I think he kind of means like when you kill someone, you get mats. Like extra. I feel like they should increase mats. Blitz V1 where you got like tons of stuff. I feel like it should be on like the mat gathering should be like playground mode, but like on a lesser scale. Because if you think about it, if you got like 100 mats from a big tree instead of like 50, it'd help out a ton. Think about it. No more 10 materials from trees. Make it double what it already is. I think he did a great job, but he shouldn't really, like, I'm pretty sure that's what he just meant on that. Weapon roster, I didn't agree with it. He said like only one pump. Like one pump, one AR, and one sniper, and that's it. I disagree. I think there should be a pump shotgun, an SMG, because in this video, he suggests all the time that people, to counter building, you guys should have to shoot, and there should only be one explosive, which should be a grenade. I agree with the explosive part in this cooldown explanation, but I don't agree with only like 3 weapons. There should be an SMG, but I feel like if you were to ever switch to a pump or to an SMG, like you know how there's like a double pump, in this version of Fortnite, what it already is, there should be double pump. But if we did like his way, there should be a time limit to switch to an SMG, maybe like 2, not like maybe a second, like 1 Mississippi and then switch, but like not. You'd give like not defaults, but like casual players like kind of like a bone, if you want to say so. Like you know how if you give a dog a bone if it does something right, like, or like just like to give it something to look forward to. That's what you give the casual players. You give them something to look forward to. You put an SMG in that roster. I agree with that roster. Besides just add an SMG and add a timer between shotgun and SMG. Now the healing system. I agree what they should do with bandages. How they should you can stack as many bandages as you want, or like have like a high number of bandages, and how they're like slurp juices. Medkits, he really didn't say anything about medkits, but he said take out this shield mechanic in the game. Now, I don't agree with this because number one, shields give you an advantage based off of loot, and yeah, I know what he says, better player wins, but if you are a better player, you should know how to outplay the player with more shield. So, I say you don't take the shield out of the game, you buff it. So like COD, you have I say you have something like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, where you have 150 HP, and, no, you have 100 HP, but then you can get to 150 HP max. So if you take shields, the most you can get is 150 HP. And then if you get something like a slurp juice, you can get all the way to 200. Make slurp juices only come in supply drops. Now the map, I agree totally with the map. OG map, but the only thing that I don't agree with is that OG map with tilted towers spreads things out more. OG map with tilted, yeah, it's fine. Gameplay changes, I mean, it's kind of what he's talking about the entire video. Yeah. He also talked about the knock mechanic, which I really don't get. He said he wanted it out of the game. Now, I totally disagree with this. Knocks should always be in a squad match, in duo match, or whatever you're playing. If there's more than one player, knocks should be a thing. I say this because he even admits himself that players will have mess-ups, and even if they're pro players, they will have mess-ups, and it's just, I don't think it's appropriate to take out the knock mechanic now. The looting system, he said, have like shotguns be only floor loot, ARs only be in chests, and supply drops only be snipers. Now, I totally disagree with this. I feel like a sniper should be able to be in a chest, floor loot, and a supply drop, but I feel like the supply drops should have better versions of the weapon. I think the pump should come in a chest, be in a floor loot, and supply drops, just a better version of the pump. Have the AR and floor loot chest and have it in a better version in the supply drop. And have one type of grenade and smoke grenades. I completely agree with that. No one likes explosive spammers. Yeah. So, I do think he needs to change his looting system, and he needs to add an SMG into the mix just to switch things up a little bit. Trap-wise, he never said anything about traps, but I think the only trap in the game should be, a spike trap, and they should have cozy campfires. So those are the only thing in the game. No bullcrap, no stupid traps that give unfair advantage. Just spike traps and campfires. This eliminates tryhards, like, memeing on you. I mean, he said that. He says, like, get all the stupid crap out of the game. It eliminates the one thing, traps, so it's predictable to know it's coming. And then you have a campfire for healing. Now, I feel like that's the only stuff that should be in the game. Like the icer, I don't like. The turret, I definitely don't like. Yeah, it's good when you're using it, but when someone uses it on you, it's just not fair. Yeah. So, he was right in a lot of areas, but those are my suggestions to his change. Besides that, it sounds like a really good mode. I feel like Fortnite should take a little more consideration to these changes, because right now I feel like Fortnite kind of knows they're like the best game in the world right now, and I think they're trying to like get it to all people, but I feel like it should be a more competitive based game, not just like a casual experience. Yeah, so that's why I think the Jed was right and wrong. Those are my opinions on his video. But one thing that he really said did get my attention. He said, what I don't like is that the shooting model, it's gonna get time to get used to, but like more people will get used to it. But I think his shooting model is good. But for those, if he really thinks that people are gonna have a hard time adapting to it, I say keep the shooting model they're doing now, but eliminate bloom. No bloom. So just have that still have the cone of fire, so like it can go like into that area, but don't have it like go further and further out. Just have it like be really small, but then it can only go out like a certain way before, so like if you're aimed in, it's a certain thing, and if you're not aimed in, it's another thing. That's all it should be. And I feel like that would switch the bloom. It'd get more people still used to the Fortnite feel, and it wouldn't have to get people used to a new shooting model. So I like a shooting model, but if Epic Games thinks it's gonna be too big of a problem for people to adapt to, then that's my suggestion for a shooting model. People say it's overpowered. That if you get really good at the game and really good at aiming, you're going to hit every shot and it's not going to be fun. I disagree with this because building would still be, I feel like builds should be stronger, and things like deagles and snipers should not be able to like one-hit buildings. And that's why I feel like his weapon roster is decent, but he needs to have an SMG. I will always say that. And like there has to he had very good points, but there was a couple of points where he went very extreme. And I feel like it's those points he should definitely take more consideration on to others, and like what Fortnite is, because some of his areas kind of didn't really go to the community. They just kind of went to himself, like what he wanted. But there's a couple things in the community, like keep an SMG, but have there be like a time between it so it's not as annoying as a spam. Have the healing system, just debuff it, not take it out, like shield system. He wants to change it. For the most part though, he wants change the game, not really adjust it. So I have a couple things, those are my couple things, just kind of suggest to Fortnite to back him up in a way, but kind of alter his plans so it's more than just one person saying what they want. Because right now I feel debate-wise, I've said this forever, but whatever Ninja says right now is what the community says. Whatever a pro says, it's what the community says. But right now, I feel like he is the most opinionated Fortnite player of all time. On YouTube, honestly, now. He gives fair points. He gives good points. It's not like he's just stupid and he does the same thing every day. He gives reasonable points. It's not like it's that hard. I feel like even if Fortnite doesn't take any of these suggestions, but they take one of these suggestions, for example, if they took building material gathering and buffed it, that's still a win. So it's not like he's given unreasonable suggestions, give ranking systems and that base your what kind of gun you get or something. I don't think it's not like he's doing stuff like that. And then he gives suggestions that couldn't be heard. It's not like he's just saying random all these suggestions, and he's not it's not like he's oh yeah, they're just suggestions, they can be heard or they can't. But I don't care. He's very passionate about this, and I think that's what makes him a good YouTuber. So I feel like this is what Jed did right and wrong on the video. So leave your comments below in the comment section, because I want your guys' opinions too. And I'll leave a link in the description of Jed's video. And please subscribe and like. I'm at 50 subscribers, and I'd like to gain more. So that's my opinions on his video that he just released. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.